everybody, it's Al, and today I'm going to tackle what feels a little bit like the impossible. So I have mountains and mountains and mountains of fabric, and they take up a lot of space. So today I'm going to do something very difficult for myself, and I am going to unhaul a heck ton of my fabric. Which I'm very nervous about because I get anxiety about getting rid of things quite frequently, where I'm just like, okay, but like, what if a year from now I'm like, oh, I really, really want to make something and that's the exact fabric that I needed. I can't keep doing that. It's not sustainable, and I have my projects lined up for the next couple of years. I know what I'm going to be working on, and if something new comes up, I can buy more fabric. I can thrift. A lot of my fabric is thrifted materials anyways, and I no longer have an Etsy shop where I make things with quilt cottons and stuff, so there's a lot of stuff I don't need to hold on to anymore. So I'm gonna try and get rid of it today. This is a really long-winded way to say that you're coming with me on a fabric unhauling journey, where I'm going to go through every single one of my bags of fabric that I have, and I am going to basically, if I cannot name the exact project I plan on doing with it, it's gonna go. Now, I'm not throwing away my fabric. This is where I would encourage you to find, if you're going to do something similar, I would encourage you to find a secondhand materials store. We have a few here. The one I am personally going to bring my materials to is the Reuse Center. As everything, that wasn't even you. Just heard noise. As everything at the Reuse Center is free. So a lot of my materials for projects that I previously worked on all came from the Reuse Center because everything's free. You walk in, you grab what you want, you fill a bin, you weigh the bin, and you leave, no charge, which I think is lovely because a lot of times it's really good for when I do children's. I work with a children's festival here in Edmonton, and it's really cool because we get a lot of our materials from there. And then it's a great way for artists to continue exchanging materials that they won't use. I've got a lot of my quilting cottons, a lot of my fabric patterns from there. So what I want to do is take the materials that I don't think I'm going to use anymore and pass them off to some people I know will, so that I know that they're going to replace. Alternatively, you could bring them to a thrift store. I get a lot of my materials from thrift stores, but I personally, the big thrift stores that we have here, I personally no longer feel comfortable donating to, because they kind of suck. But then my local thrift stores don't, like the small thrift stores don't typically accept materials. So the Reuse Center is where I'm gonna go. You can get a lot of textile reuse places from, like we have blenders here, which is really good. I'm gonna stick with the Reuse Center just because it is free, and I like to, blenders are super affordable, but I do like to keep things as accessible for people as physically possible. I'm gonna speed this the hell up. Without further ado, I'm gonna start a time lapse of me grabbing all of my fabric and gathering it into one place. It's gonna look a little bit insane, and I'm really hoping that I manage to complete this before Lily gets home, so I don't scare the shit out of her. Okay, so the appointment that I thought was at 1 is actually at 12, so that's in 25 minutes. So we're gonna get started, but then I'm gonna have to pause to go to my appointment. But this is the pile. This is the pile. It's gonna be so great, guys. The goal is to fit all of it into this. Excluding one bag. Because one bag that's in this pile is a specific project, and it's all fabrics that have been pulled for that project, that I'm gonna take a lot of time on, and it's gonna need a lot of material, and I've made peace with that. But I'm gonna turn on some more lights, and I guess we'll get started. Okay, fabric mountain time. I'm gonna log on to my appointment in 15 minutes, but for now, we're gonna speed run a little bit. So, my goal is to fill at least 3 recycle bags, I think. They're not going in the recycle bags are just the strongest thing to hold them. What I'm also going to do is separate a pile for things I want Lily to get dibs on, just in case Lily wants them. But I'm going to try and commence. So I think we're going to start with this bag here, because, yeah. Okay, so this is actually an already cut out start project. I think this is specifically, I need to see if I can find more of this fabric. This is for a Barbie tote bag I'm making for Lily that was supposed to be her Christmas gift a year ago. Okay, this is Disney quilting cottons that are explicitly for a different tote bag I'm making for my sister. This is just a really good quilting cotton. I'm really bad at this, guys. I'm not gonna unhaul anything. I'm just gonna say this is for this and this is for this. All of these rolls I'm going to rid myself of, because while they are cute, I don't like the way they feel, and I likely realistically will not use them. This one is really, really pretty, and I feel like there's so much of it, so there has to be a use. So I think I'm probably gonna end up making a pair of PJs with this, and that's my rule. If I can name what I'm gonna make, I can keep it. Ooh, this is the beginnings of a tote bag. If it's a mid-project thing, my brain doesn't want to part with it. I actually might finish making this and turn it into a gift for my friend's birthday. So I'm gonna hold on to that, actually, because her birthday party's tomorrow. This is the under fabric for Blair. I'm separating cosplay from regular stuff. This is another quilting cotton that can be PJs, I'm thinking. Quilting cottons I'm not as, like, strict on getting rid of. This is just quilt squares, like pre-cut quilt squares, of Wizard of Oz. I've already made the Wizard of Oz tote bag, but I do want to get more yellow. Guys, this is so bad. I'm not good at this. This is so bad. Oh, you also can't even see my face. This is a problem. That works. Okay, so this is just like Wizard of Oz stuff. I am gonna hold on to these only because I do love the Wizard of Oz. Like, this is good lining fabric, good mock-up fabric. Like, this is good for, like, if I want to make a corset and I need to line it. So I'm gonna throw that in with cosplay stuff, not quilting stuff. This is a bedsheet that I'm going to part with. This is pre-cut, so I'm gonna part with it. This is really cute, but I cannot think of a world in which I use it because it's very childish, and I no longer make stuff for other people, like purchase-wise, not I do make stuff for friends. This is Raggedy Ann, so I don't like the texture of this fabric, but it is Raggedy Ann, and I love Raggedy Ann, so I am in fact gonna hold on to this because I'm extremely normal about Raggedy Ann. Same with the Sesame Street one, I'm gonna hold on to, but I am gonna part with this like dancing farm animals one. While it is very cute, I don't dance, and I purchased this I purchased the secondhand with the intention of making like a tote bag for a little girl, like a dance with like ballet slipper stuff, but I think it's gonna go to someone who will love it more. This Marvel Comics one, I'm going to hold on to because I have so many friends that love comics, and then same with this Marvel Comics one because this one's still package. I'm gonna part with this scrap of Wizard of Oz. Okay, these bears. I'm gonna say goodbye to these cute little dainty bears because I love to think, no, this could be really good for a baby quilt, and I just need to start. There's a quilt, guys. I'm gonna be so bad at this. I'm gonna be so bad at this. This could be really good. Okay, for now. This Willy Wonka stuff. Tote bag is done, and I no longer have any interest in it. Okay, this fabric I got because it looks like the lesbian flag colors, but alas, I cannot think of a use for it, so someone else is gonna love it. This is just a bunch of purple. Someone else is gonna find the benefit of this purple. This is all my quilt squares for that tote bag. Okay. These are a specific project. So this is all for my puff quilts that I'm making for my bed. I was gonna use them for a baby quilt, but then my friend ended up having a boy instead of a girl, and it's all florals, so. But these are puff quilt fabrics. Okay, we're making progress. All of this, reuse center. This is reuse center. Okay, so I have these dainty little fabrics. This one I'm gonna hold on to. This one I'm gonna hold on to because these will be good for baby quilt potentially. This one I'm going to part with. I'm not really letting you guys see these. This one I'm gonna part with. What I have here is these very like dainty florally ones, and what I want to do is maybe hold on to one of these to be my lining for my Briar Rose cosplay, because for my Briar Rose corset, because I have this gorgeous Aurora fabric, but this is going to be my lining for my Aurora cosplay, like her pink dress. So I don't want to hold on to, so I don't want to have it for both because there won't be enough. So I'm thinking for Briar Rose, I'm probably going to go with this one. which means that these two can go to the reuse center. The thing is that this isn't the fabric I have to get rid of. This is not the stuff that's hard to hold on to, it's this stuff. So if y'all saw me add that to the keep pile, yes you did. This one I'm gonna part with though. But this one specifically for Briar Rose, and this one specifically for when I do Belle, which is unknown so far. Okay, and this is more of that movie star character Disney stuff that I said I was holding on to for family. This is not good, guys. Okay, I'm doing my best. Okay, that is one bag empty. I'm gonna start putting my keeps for no, I'm gonna keep everything there for now. Okay, this, to be honest, there's so much of this. Lily and I have been using this for mock-ups. So I'm not eager to part with it because it's such a good mock-up fabric. It's just, there's so much of it. So I'm gonna put it in a bag so I can fold it and use it for later. Now what this is my Briar Rose fabrics. So this is the issue where I run into is I have a lot of fabrics that are like, this is all already for costume. So I plan on making her blouse out of, not this can go, out of these lace panels I have. But I don't think I need all of them. This I'm gonna hold on to because this is a separate piece for something else. But what I have is so many lace panels, and I think I'm going to hold on to this one. And I think I'm gonna hold on to, no, I don't like this one. I'm gonna hold on to these two, and this one can go. And there's more in here. And this one, I think, I think these two, guys, I can't decide. I don't like the texture of this one, really, is what it boils down to. The texture of this one's kind of egregious. So I'm gonna hold on to these two. And then I have just a plain black fabric to use for her corset. And then I have the showstopper here, which is just so much of this fabric that I'm gonna use to make a double circle skirt for her. So this is all Briar Rose. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the corset lining I just decided on, and I'm gonna pop that in there, and this is all a project. What I'm going to do later is fold and put them in there, but for now they can stay just in the bag. Okay guys, we are not making much progress. Okay, what's in this bag? Okay, so this one I think is gonna be easy for me to part with. Okay. Black stretch velvet, gone. Red stretch velvet, gone. The starts of a corset top that I didn't make, that someone else did, gone. Gone. The nice thing about the Reuse Center is they do take a lot of like materials that you would think they're so small that you think other people wouldn't take. But they do take them, which is very sweet, because a lot of people are just looking for stuffing scraps, those type of things. I'm not even gonna bother pulling all this out. This is black feathers, gone. Okay, so that was one bag, gone. Proud of me for that. This is a specific fabric I am not parting with because I purchased it with the intention of making a very specific project. This is my Donna Troy fabric, so that is Wonder Girl. This I am holding on to because this is a very specific project. Random garbage bag. What's in here? Okay. Black athletic stretch material. This is a keep because I intend to make my next Run Disney outfit out of this material, but I'll fold it better in a minute. This I'm making a top for my friend with. Minor scraps, minor scraps. This is more of the tote bag material for Lily's tote bag. So I'm gonna hold on to it, and then once I've cut out the tote bag, I will part with the rest. Okay, no, I have to part with this one. I couldn't bring myself to part with it, but I have to. It is Batman learning squares. And I love Batman, so I really thought I would do something with it, but it's just too childish. And I'm sure there's a kiddo out there that will, there's a quilter out there that will love working with it for their kiddo, but that's not me. This purple can go. These sunflowers can go, I think. This is a really nice, like, denim-ish material that I do want to hold on to, because I do foresee myself making, like, shorts or something out of it for the summer. Okay, this is just a good white that I can use as a lining for literally anything. Okay, this is Christmas Disney Princess fabric, but it's so distorted and faded that, like, a bunch of the princesses don't even look like themselves anymore. But I do want to hold on to it because I love the Disney princesses so much. So it is gonna stay for now. Okay, this can go. This is like some woven tapestry material that a friend gave to me, and I really thought that I was gonna put it, my fabric fell. I thought that I was gonna put it in a hoodie, and that's kind of been the plan with it for a little bit, and I have the hoodie, I just have never gotten around to it. And I think it's really gorgeous, but I think it was a piece I was intending to sell, and I no longer make to sell. So I think what I have to do is come to terms with the fact that I no longer have the things that would make this makeable, and then part with it. I'm gonna try and deal with the fact that all of that just fell over. Whatever, it's all going in the same spot. Okay, that's another bag gone. Go me, and I'm gonna give myself 5 more minutes before I have to go log on to my appointment, and break into this stash. Okay, this is the starts of a dress, actually. This is the mock-up for my Rosalina that I am later going to turn into a skirt and a crop top for a Run Disney outfit, and then I'm going to use the leftovers to make one for my mom. This is for a friend, and I like the concept of it, but I hate the way it feels. So I'm going to give it to the review center. What I'm also thinking of doing, which I might do specifically for a lot of these materials, is, do a trade for trades, or just like post them on my story and say, like, if you want it, come pick it up, it's yours, for my cosplay account stuff. Guys, I think this is one bag, almost full. And then if there's some stuff I can't hold on to, like that I really want to hold on to but don't plan on using soon, don't have space for, I think I'll probably end up bringing it to my parents. Okay, this material we have so much of, and this one's cut so awkwardly. I think I'm probably gonna hold on to it, but it's gonna go in that one project I was telling you about. It's gonna go in the bag for that one. So we're just gonna put it there for now. Next we've got this one, which I'm actually really excited about. I just got this. I think I'm gonna turn it into a hoodie of some sort combo. And if I don't for the next little bit, then I'll change it out. This is all just quilting cottons that I know someone else will love, but I just can't. Now that I no longer have my Etsy shop, I don't see for myself, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. I know that there are plenty of seniors who shop is not the right word, but who source from the reuse center to make quilts specifically for places like the Ronald McDonald Foundation and those type of things. So I love the thought that pieces that I'm having a hard time knowing how to work with will go to someone who will not have a hard time knowing how to work with them. This is just ribbon for an actual project. This is for a commission I'm doing. I'm making a really lovely Jasmine costume for my friend. So I'm gonna hold on to that because that's actually non-negotiable. While this is gorgeous, it does not match the vibe of the costume that I'm collecting blue tulle and chiffon for. It doesn't have the, oh, I wonder if this was meant to be a cape for a different musical theater costume, because it's got the, maybe it was. Interesting. Thing. And I'd like to think that somebody else can make something really, really gorgeous out of this, but that somebody else is not me! I'm doing so good, guys. Okay. This is the leftover fabric for my tennis Rosalina, which I'm actually going to use to make Bloom from Winx. You see this? We're naming projects. Okay, this gold really calls to me. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it really calls to me. I'm thinking it's probably going to end up with this brown Jude from the Cruel Prince. I really want to make like a rebel-inspired outfit for her. So this might be Jewel from the Cruel Prince, and maybe what I'll do is I'll give myself like 6 months, and if that project doesn't come to fruition, then she goes. This is also gonna be Jude from the Curl Prince. Guys, I don't know how to condense all this shit. It's a struggle. Okay. What this is specifically other fabric that I bought for Rosalina that I didn't end up using. It is going to go to somebody else who wants to start a Rosalina costume and didn't know where to start. So I have this one specifically for her. It needs to get set aside, so it's gonna stay there. This bag. Okay. This is actually just bags, I think. Okay, this one's a bag of a bag. A lot of this might not actually be mine. This bag might be Lily's. No! We're spilling. These dragonflies are very cute. And my mom is a huge bug person, so I think I'm gonna make something for her with that. This is actually the Rosalina fabric that I bought to finish up my Rosalina because I need to remake her bodice. Oh my god, no more lace! I don't know if this bag is Lily's or mine, so I'm just gonna set the things aside. This actually looks like a scraps bag. This bag needs to be gone through as a duo, actually. This is a Lily and Al journey, I think. Yeah. Okay. These are panels that my Nona gave me, specifically for Snow White. Now, I have since decided I'm probably not cosplaying Snow White. However, I do think I could use them for a Belle shift, something like that for Belle, so I'll put them over there for now. And this is where we get into the heavy duty shit, guys. Ah! I'm scared. Okay, what I'm gonna do, go to my appointment, and then I'll come back with a fresh mind. Peace out. I'm back. I just had a very long and tiring appointment, but we're gonna lock the hell in, and we are going to finish up at least the organizing side of things. And then I'm gonna go help my mom at her school. Alright. This is another bag that's already organized into exactly the character it's going to be used for. This is for my Katniss Everdeen fire dress. I have so much of this absolutely gorgeous tulle that I'm going to use to make a sort of petticoat that's going to go under the skirt so that when I twirl, that's all this stuff. This is all going to be the ruffle for that, but then this specifically is going to be the kind of like fire lining that goes along the dress and around it. And then I'm gonna put lights in it. So that's another project specific one that has to stay. And then we devolved, so I'm actually not sure what all this is. I think this was all pieces that Lily has claimed already from my fabric stash that I'm not gonna use what Lily is, so that can stay. But then this is going to be for Aurora. This is going to be for Tinkerbell when I make her. I don't know what I'm doing with this one, but oh, my sock. I don't know what I'm doing with this one. She's so pretty. I don't know if it matches. Like, I think these match well enough that I can put all of this in Aurora. I actually might use literally all of this fabric and do different like panels and stuff. So this is also going to be for Aurora. I'm not doing a very good job at unhauling things. I've only filled one bag so far. So I'm supposed to be doing a little bit better than this. This bag is full. I'm going to tie her up. And then circle back. I'll take out my trash so that we don't have like copious amounts of fabric of recycle bags sitting around because we ran out of garbage bags, so everything is in recycle bags right now. Oh, this is heavy. This is hold on to. I'm gonna message the person I'm going to in the next little bit. This I'm gonna part with. Okay, what I've got here is a bunch of this like blue netting, but this is I don't know where my. There's two rolls I don't know where they are, and one of them is a denim and one of them is a tulle netting that's a light blue. This one I don't want for Cinderella, but I don't know where this one came from, but I'm gonna put it in the bag. So I don't think I'm ever gonna need such a specific netting. This is more of that Barbie fabric. This is my Archie fabric that I am actually explicitly making a romper out of this summer. Guys, this is the cutest thing ever. I love it so much. Now this is all quilting cottons that I'm need to decide what to do with. This is specifically the Barbie one. I just bought the fabric, the logos off of that. This is just random. I don't want to. I actually think I'm making a shirt out of this. I for the longest time thought I was going to make pieces out of this, but I'm not going to. Okay, this green is going to be perfect for the quilt that I'm making. There is officially no longer enough of this for me to do anything with it. This program I'm also making a shirt out of. Officially no longer enough of this for me to do anything with it. I just don't like the way this one looks. I'm speedrunning this. I'm so sorry, y'all. I promised my Nona I'd make her a shirt out of this one, so that's gotta happen at some point. This one, not gonna hold on to. The butterflies I am gonna hold on to because I've had a couple people express interest in having things made out of this one. I'm gonna part with this guy. This would be so cute for my puff quilt. If I got it, yeah, that can go puff quilt. I'm actually not sure how to fabric for puff quilt right now, but with that I probably do. Okay. This is little macarons, but not for me. Okay. These bows, I love. Sorry you didn't hear my upstairs neighbors. These bows I love. I think I'm holding on to for a friend. These I'm gonna part with. Okay, that's an empty bag. That's 2 more empty bags for me, so I can hear my couch creaking too. Leaves this one, which is the things I was unsure about with Lily. So I'm actually gonna make a bag of all the things I was unsure of that's in a smaller bag. So this is Lily's, I believe. Because I'm also convinced a lot of, like, I have a bag of fabric over there that's actually Rosalina because she's currently under the works. Like, this is all this fabric. Like, when I say that we have a lot of this fabric, I mean it because it's so... you can get this fabric in bulk at Value Village whenever you want because it's like used to line curtains, it's used for bedding. And we obtain a lot of it. All of my leftover stretch from Rosalina, that's not the one I'm using for Bloom, is just gonna go because the material was so miserable to work with. I've decided I never want to work with it again. I'm gonna hashtag protect my peace on that one. And while I typically, if it was going to a thrift store or something, wouldn't include all my little scraps, I will specifically for the reuse center because I have been on the purchasing end of taking end on of many a scrap. And they're very valuable to some people. Even though it seems strange to imagine as much. This is Lily's, like, the scraps from Lily's Barbie pants, but I'm not gonna get rid of them in case she has a plan for them. But all of this can go in here. That's just like random receipts. Okay. This is another lace that's really gorgeous that I am gonna hold on to. But that is another bag. Oh, and empty, chat. So then I'm gonna show you guys all the fabric I have for Cinderella just because I'm excited. But then we're gonna start folding things. It's okay, we've got this. And as I fold, I am going to maybe part with things. But I'm gonna do that as a time lapse. But we're gonna just go through what I've got for Cinderella because I'm very excited. So to start, I've got an absurd amount of random like chiffons and tools of different thicknesses that are gonna make the ruffles of the underskirt. And then this, like ones like this might end up compiling the higher overskirts. I'm gonna start parting with any of the straps that are too small for me to do anything with. I've also got a bunch of like whites of that material, teals of the sort. I have a bag in here that is all already cut ruffle strips ready to get turned into ruffles at some point. This one I'm a huge fan of. I gotta show you guys the stars of the show. This has started already being serged. This one is like a softer, like, net kind of fabric. I'm actually not entirely certain what my plan is for this one because I don't know if it might be like a shorter ruffle layer, but like I don't know what to do with this because it doesn't have as much rigidity as I'd like it to, but I see it being useful in the future. This is just fabric scrap. This is so what I'm doing with Cinderella specifically, this is going to be the live action Cinderella, but I want to walk you guys through, it's going to be a sustainable piece. So a lot of cosplay competitions have started integrating a sustainable category for costumes that are made with both sustainable purchasing and crafting practices. And Cinderella for me is going to be that. And how I'm making her sustainable from the purchasing side of things is all of my rib dyes are secondhand, just in case I have to dye fabric, because I'm not buying any fabric fresh off the bolt. If I get a fabric like this per se, if I can get that secondhand and reduce its
it's going to the landfill, I'm going to do that by using RIT dye. However, RIT dye itself isn't necessarily a sustainable material, so my plan is to secondhand source my RIT dye, which is actually what my camera's propped up on right now, dye the costumes. But as I'm dyeing the costumes, I'm going to put a post on my story basically like, hey, if anybody else has any dye things, like things they want dyed in these colors, let me know and drop off your items around this time. I'll dye them for you, because that way I can use up as much of the dye as physically possible and avoid pouring it down the drains, but also avoid, you get the point. And then a lot of my own materials are either taken from friends through fabric trades, fabric donations, purchased at thrift stores or the reuse center, and whatnot. And then the last part of how I'm gonna make her sustainable is making her consistently wearable. So a lot of people will make their costumes and then kind of one and done them, but what I'm gonna do for Cinderella is make her 3 costumes in 1. So the skirt is going to be good for both live action Cinderella, animated Cinderella, and Glinda's second bubble dress from the movie Wicked. And then the main corset piece for Cinderella is going to have a removable top piece and then removable sleeve puffs that make her both the live action and animated Cinderella, whereas I'll have to make an entirely different bodice for the live action Glinda, but essentially this costume should be about 3 separate costumes. And then what I have is this fabric for the main bodice, which I'm very excited for. There's a lot of it, so I probably won't end up using all of it. But then I also have this dress, which I thrifted, and she's so stunning. I honestly feel kind of bad about tearing her apart, but this is what I'm going to use to make the shoulder puffs. And then what I have is, the fact that I managed to get this all over these serger colors from Friends is insane. But that's all Cinderella, and Cinderella is going to exist in a sphere of her own world. When she is done, she's going to be so large. She's actually going to stay at my parents' house when I'm not wearing her, because we actually won't, by the time she's finished being made, this is only a quarter of the material I need for her. I actually won't be able to keep her in this apartment. She won't fit. Like right now she's under our TV, and that's where she has to stay. But this is my September project, so like, keep your eyes out for that one. But she exists in a realm of her own. I'm going to push her aside.
So, I did sort of semi-complete my task. I filled 1.5 bins, and all of my fabric fits under here. This is not ideal. The goal was to have all of mine and, sorry, I'm so out of breath. Folding fabric is really hard. And then, except for Cinderella. Cinderella's under there. Project and quilt fabrics are all in here. The goal was, I'm gonna sit down. The goal was to also have Lily's fabrics fit in there. I think within the next month, I'll be able to clear out about half of that bottom shelf. I don't know if you can see it. Watching Denny Mata. No, not Denny Mata, Devin Thing Dolls, because Katniss is there and she'll still be used for a little bit, but then I should be able to get rid of Briar Rose, Tinkerbell, and Jasmine, and Donna Troy in the next month or 2. And Rosalina. But I can't make any guarantees on that, so I'm gonna have to do some more thingamajigging. Once our wall shelves get put up, we are also gonna clear off this shelf, so like I feel a little less stressed, but just those 2 bags alone is pretty huge. I'm gonna prop up my phone again. I succeeded for the most part. I'm pretty happy, I'm pretty proud. We're gonna get these bags to the reuse center pretty soon, I hope. I wanna go through some of our other materials. I have a bunch of Gildan t-shirts that I bought for my Etsy shop that are no longer going to get used. I have a lot of netting and those type of things that I'm gonna try and get rid of. But today was a pretty good start. I figured it wouldn't be a bad idea to like clean out a space, put some work in, because Animathon's not till August. So alongside starting my new job, I do have July to clean up and to get the space organized in a fun and navigatable way for us, which is both Lily and I's goal. But for now, I'm gonna go help my mom with her classroom. So goodbye. Thank you for watching.